All right, welcome back to the T-1 F-22 build number 2. Finished up this flap servo today. I just got one in. I've been out here for a couple hours now. This one, was just going to do screws, but then again, I ran into another issue. T1 just needs to stop doing extra things. Stop drilling holes. If you're going to drill holes, make sure they're the right size, that kind of thing. So the problem I ran into is the servo mount is in a bulkhead or a rib, and they drilled holes for the screws, to mount mounting screws. Well, they didn't line up, and you can't get to the forward ones. So the only thing you can really do is put a bolt in, some small screws with some nuts, lock nuts or something. That's what I did. So to do that, all I had was 3mm. I didn't have the 2.5 or whatever, the smaller ones to use. And then, got these little, I was going to use the servo holders like you use on helicopters, but I just used washers because the pulling is this way, and it's, like I said, it's secure in that rectangular frame. I just went ahead and did the washers and bolts with lock nuts. But because, like I said, the pre-drill holes are off, and then you try to drill and it pulls, even if you try to drill, because I had to upsize the hole for the 3mm versus the screw, you have to drill where they already drilled, because even if you try to drill to the side to make it, line up with the servos, it'll pull it to the center of the other hole, so might as well just drill out the other hole. And there's not much room, so you can't go oversizing it too much. So that being said, I got 3 of the 4 screws in with lock nuts. I went in from this side. This bottom one, just not even going to worry with it. These 3, plus it being in the actual frame here, this servo's not going anywhere with 3. I mean, you're going to have to break something before it moves. So I'm not too worried about it. I may actually try to put that's kind of a good idea now that I think about it, just a regular servo screw in there with a washer, because I can probably get to that one. Or take this one out and move it down, line this hole up and then put the screw up here. That might be the best bet now that I think about it. So anyways, I'll finish that up. Now that I think about it, I could probably get a 4th screw in there to hold it. Actually, no, I can't, because I've already drilled out the bigger holes. So maybe I can find a smaller bolt, like a 2.5 with a nut. But here you go. So here's the operation. So that's neutral, pretty much aligned with the aileron. Aileron's aligned to the outer there. And then you can kind of see what's going on here. As it's pulling past, the flap is full down, and it's at its limit there. And it's like I said, all the torque now is on this. So it's not the actual motor, it's just the shaft. So that just kind of helps stabilize it. And, nothing crazy, no binding. And I got full resolution. I'm probably gonna have to cut it down a little bit, because there is full throw and it binds a little bit and it goes past center, maybe 10 mil, not even 10mm. So right there is perfect. Buzzy. So I should be able to get most of 100% on the throw there. But that is it for this. Nothing crazy. Like I said, it's just hard to get those screws in there, and then when they don't drill the holes properly, it makes it a pain. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the hatch on. It's just held on with little screws. I switched to my little small button head screws versus theirs. They look better, and they don't snag stuff when you're cleaning, like those do. Those are kind of angled a little bit, but I'm gonna put those on, and then that's it for this wing. I also did that. Went ahead and drilled got my little micro drill bits and drilled it out. And looks like it's dirt. And put the hatch there. So I got the little micro drill bits for that. I can't find my little handheld drill, like the little finger drill like these, but it's almost like a wrench, And it's made for those little bitty tiny ones where you can make your, just do it by hand. Can't find that. That's part of the problem of not having an organized shop. You lose shit. So, all right. So I'm gonna get this hatch on, and then all the wires are kind of running out this one area here into the fuselage. There is an opening in the fuselage here. What sucks is that one way up there. I would love to run it all back here, but there's no way. I mean, I could put a hole somewhere to get through, but there's no easy way to get that servo ran back to here. So on the last one, I had a plug up there that I connected, and then of course the single plug back in the back, and then the lights. So I might see if I can, I don't want to go drilling around where the spar goes, but if I can get it, or either I can run it on the outside because there is some recess, and just use some, what's that called? Oh, canopy glue, and just glue it down to the skin, and get it past this, and then right here, and then kind of run in. So we'll see. All right, anyways, that's it for this one. The other wing, like I just mentioned, has the worst, the aileron mount that's worse, or the worst. So that may take a little bit to get fixed. So I'm not going to show any on that wing. I will just show, my next video will be when I've gotten them both done and how I've kind of ran all this stuff. And then after that, still got to jump on to shimming the rudders. This is just taking like way too much time. The last one went together so much easier. It's just, this one's just not, it just looks rushed. But anyways, you guys have a good one.